You're looking live at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Everybody is in place for the Coca Cola 600 live on TBS. 11th round of the 95 Cup season, and a great race due for us here in just a couple of moments. This has been Earnhardt country for a long time. A lot of folks are ready to at least give a lease on this property to Jeff Gordon. We'll find out in the next several hours whether that is the appropriate thing to do. A lot of stories to tell you. Randy Pemberton is standing by on pit road for us today with a driver who many thought had a great chance to win here this evening.
Well, there's no doubt about it. It's Dale Earnhardt. He'll be starting in the 34th position. Now, all through the last 2 weeks, it's been hot and humid here. That's what these drivers have been practicing in those conditions. Today, cloudy and overcast, cool. It's changed the way these guys are going to set up these race cars. Now, yesterday, the final practice session was rained out. Dale, educated guess as to the chassis without that last practice session and the weather.
Well, an educated guess, really, but we found some things on the car that we really didn't like, and we were in bad shape Saturday morning, but then it got rained out, so we was sort of questioning about Saturday afternoon how we were going to be today, but I think we'll be okay. We've adjusted the car, and maybe a little on the safe side, but we got some things we can change as you go the other way, so we're comfortable with going the way we are.
Okay, good luck today in the 600. Steve?
Well, from 34th starting spot, we'll get to Steve Burns in just a moment. Dale Earnhardt will have his work cut out for him today, but we've seen him come from the back many, many times, and not just here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. He's a back-to-back winner of this event not long ago at all, and I think he's going to have a very, very strong run here today. A lot of folks wondering if anybody will have anything for Jeff Gordon. Gordon almost 2 miles an hour quicker than the rest of the field. Now, the driver who has sustained a real problem here this week, he was injured last Saturday night. A lot of folks think he's got a very, very strong car. Steve Burns on pit road with Darrell Waltrip.
Thank you, Rick. I'm with Darrell Waltrip. Darrell has won this race 5 times, but as you mentioned, he was hurt during the Winston Select last Saturday night. You look pretty racy out there, but I know you're hurting.
Yeah, I got the injuries I got, they hurt the worst in the car, and our plan right now is to hopefully run to the caution. I may not even be able to do that. I haven't had but 1 lap in the car since last Saturday night, and that was qualifying. Every time I go out, it hurts so bad I have to come back in, and if I can't do it, we'll just have to come in and put Jimmy in under green and take our, take our licks.
Darrell, it's kind of a shame because you looked so good last Saturday night.
We've had a lot of momentum leading up to Charlotte, and we felt this was our weekend to come over here and really do a lot of good things. And of course, we were doing that in the Winston, but now this sets us back a little bit. But we'll just deal with it. I told the guys this is not a setback; it's just an obstacle, and we'll deal with it. I've got to get myself healed up. If I mean doing this again next week, then we'll have to do it. But we'll do whatever we got to do.
Thanks, Darrell. By the way, I love your new TV show.
Yeah, I do too.
Thanks. Okay, folks, stay with us because we're about to drop the green flag on the Coca Cola 600 from here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
And we're back live at the Coca Cola 600 here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. The field of 42 cars aligned along pit road. The weather's been the big question mark here all weekend. If you were with us yesterday for the Red Dog 300 Busch Gray National race, misting much of the day. Still some question marks today. Everyone waiting till late in the day to come to the racetrack, but now everyone's here and in place. We'll have in-car pictures for you a little later on. Let me introduce you now to the gentleman who will call today's event, the Dean of American Racecasters, our own Ken Squire.
Well, thank you very much, Rick Benjamin. Memorial Day is always a day when we remember common Americans who did uncommon deeds. And I can't think of a better marriage than the sport of American stock car racing with this particular holiday. And who better to tell us more about it than a 2-time winner of this event and the greatest stock car driver of them all, who's going to join us in the booth. Richard, all those years you cinched up down here, what were your thoughts when you were ready to start a 600?
Well, we always looked at it that Memorial Day is always a very, very special day to everybody in America. And then from the racing standpoint, it was our big day, too. So everybody was able to get together with another 120,000 people that thought the same way you did, enjoy one more heck of a race here in the 600.
Now, it starts in the daylight. It ends tonight under the lights, and the giant fireworks go off. Ernie Irvan, when the fireworks go off here today, can anyone stop this number 24, Jeff Gordon?
Well, I tell you, I think so. There's 40 other cars that think they can, and I really look like Bobby Labonte's really looking really strong, and we can't cut Dale Earnhardt out. I'm really looking for Mark Martin to really play a big factor in this race.
Mark Martin has to come a long way through the field to make that move, but many others feel, as Ernie Irvan does, that he could be a major factor before we've completed 400 laps, 600 miles for 42 drivers on this Memorial Day. Now let's go trackside. Diamond Rio is here from Nashville, Tennessee, and they are ready.
join with us for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the rampart we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket red flag, the bursting air, came through the night, and our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the free?
Seldom has there been such a strong favorite to win a Winston Cup stock car race as Jeff Gordon today at Charlotte. And why not? Last week in the Winston Select, he won all 3 legs of it. Then he won the pole with this same car, this same setup. Jeff, what's on your mind with all this pressure?
You know, it is a lot of pressure. I mean, you see all these people, fans, cameras everywhere, but this is a long race. This is 600 miles, and, you know, if it's our day, then it's our day, and if it's not, it's not. I mean, we still going to go to Dover next weekend no matter what happens here today. So, you know, I'm just going to try to keep the car straight all day long. I know it's going to be a good car because it's been a great car all week. And we just, you know, pray to God that everything's underneath us all day long, have great pit stops. It takes a total team effort. It's not just one person doing this, and we just really appreciate everything that everybody's done for us, and hope we have a good day.
He's all smiles now, Randy Pemberton.
Another young competitor on the front row, Bobby Labonte. He'll start on the outside of row 1. He has a couple of front row starts this year and a couple of second-place finishes, but he's never been to victory lane in a Winston Cup race. Bobby, what about it? Can you win here today? This is a big race.
Well, I tell you what, this is a great big race, and, you know, I feel very fortunate the Interstate Battery Show Chevrolets up front. You know, we had a great qualifying run. You know, Jeff's been the man to beat for a few races this year, and those Fords are coming on strong, so it's going to be a long, exciting race, and I'm sure that the fastest car probably won't win the race. It's just going to be the guy that's going to be there at the end, so we'll just have to wait and see, but we'll give it our best shot, and we hope that everybody has a safe race.
Okay, now let's go to Rick Benjamin. Rick?
All right, thanks, Randy. Certainly hoping for a safe start and a safe event today. If you were with us yesterday for the Red Dog 300 Busch Grand National event here on TBS Sports, you saw a lot of slicing and dicing. The track was slick. The cars were aerodynamically. At some points, we would go 2 and 3 wide into the corners. Some cars got loose. A lot of cars ended up in the concrete. Hopefully, there'll be a lot of excitement, but not nearly as many cars going out on the hook today in the Coca Cola 600. Great field of competitors. We've shown you where Dale Earnhardt will line up. Also deep in the field today, Mark Martin. A lot of folks think he's got one of the very strongest cars. Pretty happy when we talked to him late yesterday afternoon, but he didn't qualify very well, and he's got to march up through the field, too. We've seen both those drivers able to do that many, many times down through the years. Gordon's car so much quicker than everyone else last Saturday night, and in qualifying, a lot of people think he's just going to check out and drive off and leave everyone behind. I want to show you a little bit more about today's event, the Coca Cola 600, our AutoZone race analysis today. 1.5 miles, of course, here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We'll go 400 laps, which is 600 miles. 24-degree banks in the corners here. Very steep, leading to these 180-mile-an-hour speeds that these cars are notching. And the purse today, nearly $1.5 million, $1,484,000. Look at the speeds. Jeff Gordon has gained almost 2.5 miles an hour from his pole effort here last year. This year qualifying in 183.8. Gordon, the defending champ. Darrell Waltrip, we told you about his rib injuries. He won't be able to go the distance today. 6 career Winston Cup victories, including 5 in this race. Maybe Jimmy Hensley and Darrell can team up and post a win. Before we get going here today, we want to hear those magic words that will put these engines under command of their drivers from Bruton Smith.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, to give the starting command for this 35th running of the Coca Cola 600, the chairman of the board of the Charlotte Motor Speedway, Bruton Smith.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
For the 36th annual Coca Cola 600, here is your Haviland starting grid. 42 cars just about set to be released for 2 preliminary laps. And the man on the pole, at 23 years of age, will be the defending champion in this race. Here is the Haviland starting grid showing Jeff Gordon on the point. The man in his shadow, back when he ran for Rookie of the Year and finished second to him twice this year, Bobby Labonte in the Joe Gibbs car will start in second. Going to row 2 today from Newburgh, Maine, Ricky Craven, and beside him, Brett Bodine. In row 3, it'll be Michael Waltrip, and from Missouri, Ken Schrader. Row 4 today, there you have Sterling Marlin, defending Daytona 500 champion, and Elton Sawyer. For row 5, it's Joe Nemechek from Florida, and Morgan Shepherd and the Wood Brothers, number 21. Row 6, there's Dick Trickle from Wisconsin, and Hut Strickland. Row 7, Terry Labonte and Todd Bodine. Row 8 will be Rick Mast and Lake Speed from Mississippi. In row 9, it's Chad Little, winner yesterday in the Grand National Race, and Ricky Rudd. For row 10, Bill Elliott and Jeff Burton from South Boston, Virginia. In row 11, 5-time 600 winner Darrell Waltrip, driving with 3 broken ribs, and Dale Jarrett. Going to row 12, Bobby Hamilton's there in the Petty number 43, and Rusty Wallace alongside. In row 13, rookie Robert Presley and Derek Cope. For row 14 today, Ted Musgraves there with Jeff Bodine. Row 15, Mike Wallace and Ward Burton. Row 16 is Loy Allen and Mark Martin well back in the field. Row 17, Chuck Bound and Dale Earnhardt. For row 18, Dave Marcus and John Andretti. In row 19, Kenny Wallace and Jimmy Spencer. Row 20 for our start will be Steve Grissom and Kyle Petty, a former winner. In the final row, the provisional starters from Connecticut, Randy LaJoie and Jeremy Mayfield round out the field. The field is rolling. Preliminary laps about to be run. We're getting set for the 36th annual 600.